matter should have been finalized at that stage. And Army headquarters quite capable of doing that. And he was wanting Army headquarters to take a call, either this or that, because either way, his progression in the service was not getting affected.
General Pranag, General V.K. Singh had claimed that it was first in 1985 and then in 2002 that he had wanted a correction in the date of birth. But when the issue came up, the then military secretary Lieutenant General P.R. Gangadharan, he had stated in a confidential letter which has been quoted in various newspapers and not contradicted since then, that as per the available records, the officer had not taken up any case for correction of his date of birth prior to the intimation by the MS branch in May 2006. Isn't that surprising? Either that communication has been pulled out, or perhaps there is more to it?
I don't think any communication can be pulled out. There are too many records and checks and balances. What possibly was that an application was made which did not reach Army headquarters. It was probably turned down at a lower level. As far as the this issue is concerned, I personally feel there is a very old saying: generals don't get involved in controversy. The General V.K. Singh himself should say, come on, he had accepted a date of birth, and he should just say, I stand by it.
Rajiv, now this is interesting what General Pranag is saying. Way back in 2008, General V.K. Singh had given a commitment that he is okay with whatever date of birth, and the date of birth accepted was 1950. Why do you think the issue got raised again?
No, even if when the issue was raised, like Ministry of Defence and Ministry of Law both got involved, the issue was very simple. They could have seen the place of birth where he is born, the Part 2 order that's already available with the Army authorities.
As General Malhotra very rightly pointed out.
That is what is it was just an asked job. Things would have rested there, and with his statement, if he is saying it is 1950 and the journal's word, that should have been accepted.
General Malhotra, now since V.K. Singh is the Army chief, so in a way the chief and the Army has a kind of a vested interest. There is a conflict of interest. So do you think now the Army headquarters should wash its hands off and let the Ministry of Defence decide?
It is with the Ministry now to decide. Army headquarters nothing to do with it, because the Ministry referred the case to Law Ministry and then to Attorney General. They have to take the call now.
No, but General Malhotra, in fact, the Army has sought the views of two former Chief Justices of the Supreme Court, and they have given their opinion. In fact, both have given their opinion that the date of birth of 1951 should be accepted.
But today the Army cannot take a view, because the issue is with the Ministry of Defence, and since it concerns the Chief, they cannot take a decision about themselves.
General Pranag, should the Army have asked the former Chief Justices on their opinion?
Should never have asked.
That's a different issue.
I personally feel I will give you an example.
This has been reported in the media and not contradicted.
My own personal case, I was not approved for my next rank. We accepted it. People suggested to me that so and so has gone to court and got his promotion. My reply was, I said, this organization has treated me so well for so many years, and just for one additional rank I take it to court, I will not do it. So therefore, Army headquarters should never have gone beyond the ministry directly to Chief Justices. They have no they may be good in law, but they have no locus standi in giving their opinion.
Very correctly stated. General Malhotra, there must be many instances where wrong date of births have been recorded and people haven't really taken it up.
Yeah, there would be number of cases. I mean, as I was telling you, even in my case,
yes,
after partition, I was taken to school in Simla, and my elder brother, who was in charge, he also was a bacha. He was studying in first year in Dayal Singh College, Lahore, and he asked me, what's your date of birth? I said, I don't remember. So he filled in something, and it was only once I got the matriculation certificate in 1952 that I realized that my date of birth is given 50th May 1936, whereas actually every year I have been celebrating.
He made you look 1 year older, right?
That's right. And his opinion was, once he was questioned by my parents, that why have you done this? Oh, he didn't accept his mistake. He said, it doesn't matter, he'll get a job earlier. So the point is, it has been done, it has been done. And I realized.
Did you represent ever in the Army to be younger?
No, no, not at all. In fact, it was only in 1985 when I was posted after my BGS job as Deputy MSB, when I saw a number of files, people wanting to change their date of birth. Then I realized, yes, date of birth means something. But I said, what the hell? Whatever is done, whatever is one destiny you will get.
Rajiv, two former military secretaries, Lieutenant General Richard Khair and Lieutenant General P.R. Gangadharan, have in their opinion stated that the date of birth which General V.K. Singh had accepted all along should be the date of birth, and if any change is made, it not be legally sustainable. Do you agree?
No, not exactly, because the law prescribes the procedure what is to be done where correction is sought. When a correction is sought based on some typographical or clerical error just in the entry being made, then section 21 of the General Clauses Act gives a particular authority which endorsed that entry to correct it itself, when it is only typographical or clerical error. But when there is conflict of claim, like in this case we have the conflict of claim, then for examining and assessing which one is correct, civil court by way of declaration, giving a declaration, can only give the correct date of birth.
Rajiv, General Gangadharan also stated that if you make a change now, it could actually set a wrong precedent, and there could be lots of other people in the line asking for similar change.
Yes, yes, that is what, because in his case much water has flown, he has taken promotions, everything is there. That is what I already stated, that in such cases law of estoppel also arises. As the law in the army prescribes that within 2 years any such correction is required to be made, and now law of estoppel will definitely come in their way. If the other party on the other side, general public or the army authority, is opposing the claim, they will definitely bring in the law of estoppel, which, because 1950 as entered was being followed for so many years now.
General Panag, this issue is of great importance because it not only gives him additional 10 months, but it also changes the line of succession. If 1950 is accepted as his date of birth, then the next in line possibly would be Lieutenant General Bikram Singh, who is the Eastern Army Commander. And if 1951 is accepted as the date of birth, then Lieutenant General Parnaik, who is perhaps the Northern Army Commander, he's next in line of succession. Just with 1 year to go, don't you think it's quite a confusing situation now? This could have been avoided.
It can still be avoided. Somebody has to take a decision and stand by it, and that decision has to be endorsed publicly by the Chief of Army Staff himself. I accept the date, I have accepted this date and I stand by it. Then that should kill the issue, and I feel that they should, yes, as far as line of succession is concerned, whether you take one date or the other, somebody is going to feel offended and aggrieved.
But General Panag, normally the changes do not happen at this stage perhaps. General Malhotra, you would agree that we've had cases where people were superseded, General Sinha was superseded. We've had cases where people died in harness, as General Bipin Joshi died. So even in this case, let's say since the line of succession was somewhat clear in the last 3 to 4 years now, if a change is made, in case of General Bikram Singh, it will almost mount to supersession of sorts.
That's true. I don't think there should be any change at this stage.
General Panag, you agree?
Absolutely endorse.
It's a very historical decision.
But General Panag, don't you think the way the age issue is being discussed now, it is being discussed in the army messes, it is being discussed in the media, possibly even the troops would be discussing it, it kind of sends a very wrong signal?
Absolutely wrong signal. The army should get its house in order. There is no reason for two branches of the same headquarters to have two different dates of birth. And I'm sure this is not the only case, there must be many more. When in the date of, in the computer age, IT, there should be just one proper record, and that should be final. And you can't have things like this going on. The house has to be set in order.
General Malhotra, don't you think we're placing too much importance to the date of birth in the Indian Army? Don't you think from maybe brigadier onwards it should be merit and not the date of birth which should hold the key to promotions?
You see, as far as the promotions after brigadier, merit is very much dominant, and the seniority again is your commissioning. Now, as far as the date of birth is concerned, there are particularly because of certain rules which are changed during General Sonderji's time, that if you want to become an army commander, you should have this much residual period. That is definitely, I repeat, that is definitely taking away a lot of good material which are not coming up because somebody younger has joined.
The age is not on.
I'll give you an example. I mean, I know of 1 or 2 years. The best chap didn't get it. The youngest got it, and youngest were not the best.
General Panag, do you agree with General Malhotra that more than the age, I think it should be the merit and the professionalism of officers which should matter?
Yes, provided there is no personal interest and there is a fair selection.
But what is the system in other countries? Do they place so much importance to the age?
No, as far as I know, in most of the countries, it is by selection, and the chief executive selects the person he wants in a particular job. He may not be the senior most. I think that is what is happening in a lot of countries, and that is that. But those are where there is a presidential form of government. Where you got a parliamentary form, prime minister, this thing, I think
you normally follow this. Yes, General Malhotra.
You see, what happens is that up to promotion up to lieutenant general, there is the merit is taking its due place. I mean, given, let's say in my case, in our batch, say out of 20 major generals, 7 became lieutenant generals in the general cadre. But once the 7 became lieutenant general, then the date of birth took over, because only those who had 4 years or 4 and a more, they were to become army commanders and not the others.
So a stage does come when the date of birth takes precedence over merit.
That's right.
Rajiv, do you think in case merit was to take precedence over the age, it would create more problems than it would resolve? We're running out of time. Just a quick
No, not at all. No, merit is always to be given precedence. Merit matters. That is how selections should be made, and that is my personal
opinion.
Even
the American army and all.
General Panag said the vested interest could come into play, no?
No, but then people are now conscious enough, then the country is watching.
Cover, I feel that a system should be well debated, it should be put into force, and no deviations should be accepted. And a system should not be changed arbitrarily. It must, if a change is proposed, it must be widely debated, consensus arrived at, and the new system notified well in advance that this will be applicable from 2 years hence. The main thing is everybody who steps into the office of Chief of Army Staff wants to implement his own system during his own tenure. So that leads to shortcuts. There is no consensus, there is no debate, and the next person comes and turns it over again, which is bad for the morale of the armed forces.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us in this discussion. To decide on contentious issues which have a bearing on their promotion to higher ranks, there is a clear system in place. The system lays down that all changes in age of officers, if at all, should be made within the first 2 years of their service. There is no reason why there should be any deviation from this rule, even if it concerns the head of a uniformed force. That is all in this episode. Do write your feedback. Next week, we meet again with a new issue. Till then, good luck and goodbye. And for now, we continue the discussion at the bar.